Morning YouTube. I think it's still morning. This is Tech Sergeant Ken. Ari is under the weather, so I've come to Magic Kingdom to show you some of my stuff that I think is really interesting. Taking the monorail today, and it looks like it's here, so I should be able to get right on and show you the changes for COVID. Just me. Alright. This is one of the really cool things about the monorail that goes straight to Magic Kingdom is that it drives through one of the first two hotels built here at Disney World, the Contemporary. So you can see all the stuff going on as you drive through. Alright, we're actually in Magic Kingdom at Main Street. One of my favorite things is people miss a lot because they don't look up. And let me show you a couple of examples as we walk down Main Street. First of which is on top of most of the buildings. Over here, there's one there. There's one over here on top of Tony's. Are American flags. But American flags are supposed to be brought down at sunset. It's part of the flag code. But those particular flags are not spec. They don't have the requisite number of stripes, they don't have the requisite number of stars, so they're technically not US flags, so they can stay up all the time. As you can see here, as we get onto Main Street, there are a lot of flags. And the other things people almost never notice is starting right about here is this particular window. Most of the windows on Main Street, as for Emily Curry, a lot of the windows have names on it. Okay, this one over here. Here. I also really love the tops of these buildings. Here we have a couple of more. Let me get up here so I don't run into anybody. This one, this one, and a bunch of them over here. Now, all of these people got the windows because they were part of the team that built, designed, and opened Magic Kingdom back in 1971. So, seeing as the 50th anniversary of Magic Kingdom,
please wear a face covering at all times, except when actively eating or drinking while stationary. Wash your hands often and thoroughly. Cover your mouth
are still alive.
coughing and sneezing, and maintain physical distancing. Thank you for your cooperation.
Even the Emporium has stuff on the windows above the door that almost nobody ever sees. Like I said, the architecture of these buildings is just amazing. And what's looking really amazing today is the castle. I hope it translates on video. It is just incredibly beautiful today. Light clouds, full sun. Like I said, I don't know if it translates. Above Crystal Arts, we have another window. And a lot of these people are still alive. Or where we went 15 years ago when we first started coming. And then, this is my favorite of the one that most people miss. Opens since 1971. Magic Kingdom Casting Agency. Take people to make the dream a reality. Walter Elias, Disney founder, director, emeritus. Now, you know how in the past I've commented on the lighting. This street lamp with built-in speakers, and it is really pretty. They're really unusual. This is Walt and Mickey statue called Partners. So get in close so you can read that. We believe in our idea. A family park where parents and children could have fun together. Direct quote from Walt. Slow pan. This is considered the center of the park. All the lands radiate off from it. And if you look, we'll zoom in. Directly behind the castle, which we went through last week, is the carousel. That, as we're entering Adventureland, the lamps change. Lots of rope and stuff. And a really nice tiki right there. Most people won't notice because they're too busy going from here to there. I love the patchwork up on the roof, and it's a metal roof. Here in Florida, that's kind of a must. And as we transition, lots of adventure stuff. The stained glass in the windows. We come over here. It's one of my favorite spots to take pictures sometimes, especially when there's like ducks and stuff. It's this waterway. Very calm, very serene. If you stop in the middle of the bridge between the rotunda, I think is what it's called, and Adventureland, you can find this. And it's really nice. Unfortunately, I wish there was more shade. Another thing you'll find over here, you know where to look. This is the door to Club 33. Club 33 is an invitation-only club. Costs like $50,000 a year to be a member, something like that. 25 to 50, I forget. That's one of the other secret doors that most people don't know about. Yeah, we're just barely in Adventureland, and more interesting architecture. We've got just all kinds of wrought iron and different colors and stuff like this. Gorgeous. As you can see, there are 2 camels. They're not doing it now because of COVID, but this one will spit right out about here. This one, if you're all the way up, as you go around, I once got spit right in my right ear as I went around. A lot of the bazaar is closed, probably for the duration. As you can see, the lamps and the architecture changes quite a bit. Log cabin feel. Very Old West. Including, although I'm not going over there today, all kinds of interesting things over at Tom Sawyer's Island. mill's not running, but it's still very pretty. Very pretty area. And then the background is Big Thunder Mountain. It is the wildest ride in the wilderness. Here's another one of those little quiet areas. Right across from the Frontierland shooting arcade. And if you come onto the dock area, you'll find this. Shady, very tranquil. There's already not a lot of people here, but now we have the steamboat and its dock area, which is a whole different style, but still considered Frontierland. Diamond Horseshoe Restaurant right here. Next to it, the Liberty Tree Tavern, where you can get turkey dinner every day. Kind of expensive, but really neat to try at least once. Another thing that I never realized until I took the behind the scenes tour. See this
Wash your hands
screen that goes down the
Cover your
middle?
mouth and nose when coughing and sneezing.
Two things.
And maintain
One,
physical distancing.
in colonial times, when these styles were popular, there was no indoor plumbing. So this is the middle of the street. I'll let your imagination fill in the rest of that. And here in Frontierland, there are no restrooms. Not a one. Another cool little thing, other than the architecture, I mean, this clock tower is pretty awesome, I gotta say. With lighting, if you don't by now, you will by the end of this video. And interesting towers and stuff. Now, this is Fantasyland. We will also see, actually I saw a little bit of new Fantasyland last week. It's a small world. Also discovered, speaking of small world, that Disney Records really doesn't like you doing your own videos of the inside of the rides, because you're violating their music copyright. You can do it, but you have to delete out all the music, otherwise they'll take your videos. Peter Pan's Flight, which can be as long as a 2-hour wait, 20 minutes today. Amazing. And again, the architecture is just nuts.
Yeah.
So colorful, but of course, pretty much everything Disney does is really colorful. Part of why everybody likes it. And here's the carousel, which we saw briefly through the castle. Minus. And we come over here. We feel our magic. One of our favorite sit-down shows. As much because it's air conditioning, but it's also a really cool show. Which unfortunately I can't show you because, again, it'd be a violation. But what I can do is show you the back side of the castle, which is just as gorgeous as the front. We did such a good job with it. And not everybody likes it.
Let him stand though.
Now, if I can see well enough, then I can't. There's 3 small windows on the right side, about 2/3 of the way up, are part of the castle suite. That's part of Fantasyland, original Fantasyland. You saw most of New Fantasyland last week in the aerial under the sea. which I still, I think, need to edit so that y'all can actually see it. Now, to tell you a little bit about this, the behind the scenes, Winnie the Pooh used to be Mr. Toad's Wild Ride back in like 70s, early 80s, maybe into the 90s, I don't recall. But in the second scene in Rabbit's house, if you look back and to the left as soon as you come in, you'll see a picture of Mr. Toad handing over the deed to Rabbit. Something that a lot of people don't see. And we're in Tomorrowland, where it's 1970s version of the future. And they haven't changed it, but that's okay. I like it. We're now in Tomorrowland. Back there is Mad Tea Party. Everybody calls it Teacups. The Starlight Cafe, Cosmic Ray Starlight Cafe, where we stopped last week. There's Tomorrowland Speedway. I remember riding that the first time I came here to Disney. I was 12. I'm now way older than that. I just noticed that Star Traders here has new signage. Love it. And we come over to the ice cream shop. I love how they do these trees, very futuristic. Yet they work. Usually, there would be a guy over there trying to sell you Disney Vacation Club, but that's closed. Not sure if the People Mover is running. That's always a fun sit down. Part of it's air conditioned. And we're now in the heart of Tomorrowland. Over here to the right. And there's a UFO up on top of the Disney Vacation Club. And in the background, Space Mountain. I basically don't do roller coasters anymore. But there's that. And there's a little person lagging behind. He's all fascinated by her stick. I think you want to go that way. The People Mover, as I said, looks like it's not running. The Astro Orbiter, however, is. Which sits on top of the People Mover, which sits on top of.
Thank you for visiting us today. Just a few reminders. Please wear a face covering at all times, except when actively eating or drinking while stationary. Clean your hands often and thoroughly. Cover your mouth and nose when
back at
coughing and
Tomorrowland.
sneezing, and maintain physical
We have
Thank you.
one of the original attractions that Walt had a hand in. I probably saw it. Carousel in Progress was introduced at the 1964 World's Fair in New York. I forget exactly where in New York. I actually was there. I remember seeing Mickey up on a roof and shaking Goofy's hand. My dad picked me up under my armpits and it kind of hurt. That was in '64. I was 3 at the time. Well, I probably saw Carousel of Progress if I didn't actually go through it. One of our favorite attractions because it's in the dark, it's air conditioned, and it's just fun. You can also, as you can see, you can ride right in on your power chair. There are special sections down front. You just drive in, you back in, and then it rotates around the theater. And it's really cool. Back here underneath the People Mover, we're over here, there used to be a theater. It's now a parking lot. They may turn it back into a theater one day. And as we come around, we have Buzz Lightyear's Star Command. This is another fun one where you sit down and you shoot at Zurg and all his minions. Okay, now earlier in this video, we talked about the flags, the ones like the one here on the train station that they never take down. However, that one, I think it's either 4 or 5 o'clock every day, they do a flag lowering ceremony. It's very patriotic, music, they're very formal. It's a really cool little thing most people don't get to see because they're not down here at that time. The other thing, I'm not sure where they put in, but somewhere there's a bench with a guy who looks a lot like Walt, but isn't, and is sitting with Minnie, is not standing with Mickey. That's Roy. Roy was the money guy in the beginning. Because Walt would have gone bankrupt like many, many times if it wasn't for Roy, or so the stories that I've heard say. The City Hall is currently being remodeled. So they put up the scrim, make it look all nice. The other thing a lot of people don't know, especially when they first come here, is that you don't have to schlep all the stuff you bought for everybody else. You can have it sent down here to Chamber of Commerce, where you pick up your stuff at the end of your day. Or, if you're staying on property, you can also have it shipped back to your hotel. It usually gets there the next day. So if you're checking out the next day, you're just going to want to have it sent here, because otherwise it won't get to you.